Hello everyone. Thank you for staying online. And now that a lot of attendees have joined into the session, we now jump into the session. Today's webinar is on an overview of Zoho CRM. My name is Manu and I'm going to run through what Zoho CRM has to offer for your business. Today, we'll be looking at the basics of Zoho CRM, where you will learn to set up your account and then customize your account based on your business requirements. We'll also be looking at some of the automation features that we offer, and then we'll be looking at the communication channels with which you can communicate with your prospects. And then we will also look at two latest features of Zoho CRM, which will help you to get an artificial intelligence touch to your product. So now let's go into the session. So before we proceed, let's look at a few basic things. So if you have any questions during the course of the webinar, please don't hesitate to post them to me. So you can use the questions box that you see on the screen to post your questions. I'll receive them at my end and I'll make sure that all of them are answered by the end of the session. I'm also recording this webinar so that I'll send out a follow-up email with a recorded version along with other details that I may mention during the presentation. After the webinar, please don't forget to share your feedback with us on Twitter on this webinar. You can use @Zoho CRM or you can use #Zoho CRM. At Zoho, we value your feedback a lot, so we'll definitely make sure that your feedback is implemented in our upcoming sessions and hence improve the quality of our webinars. And today we'll be looking at Zoho CRM and how it can help you to close deals smarter, better, and faster. And also how you can get started with using Zoho CRM for your business organization. When it comes to setting up Zoho CRM for your business, the very first step is to bring your sales team in and then set roles and permissions to each of the user. So roles inside Zoho CRM allow you to define the user's position in the organization hierarchy. On the other hand, profiles in Zoho CRM determine the permissions of various actions that the user can do. To put it simply in simple words, roles define what a user can see or can see inside the Zoho CRM account, and profiles determine what a user can do inside the Zoho CRM account. Let's look at a quick demo here on the Zoho CRM product. So in your browser, you can just type in crm.zoho.com and you'll be into the window where you can log in using your credentials. So once you do that, this is how your CRM account will look like. So your account won't look like this until you add in data, but initially this is how an overview of your account will look like. So on the top right corner, just to the left of your profile icon, if you see there's a setup button, setup icon here. You can just click on that and you will go to the setup page. So you will have a one-stop access to all of the features of Zoho CRM inside the setup page. So under setup, to add roles and profiles, you have to go to users and control. Under that, you have to go to security control. You'll have profiles and then roles. Roles inside Zoho CRM, as I said, determine the user's position in the organization's hierarchy. So if you see the first person who creates this account and then sets up this account is by default understood as a CEO of the organization, but in reality, it might not necessarily be the CEO. Say, for example, if you're buying this Zoho CRM for your marketing team and you ask your marketing team manager to set up this account, in Zoho CRM, this marketing manager will be assumed as the CEO, and then this marketing manager should add the CEO and then pass on the admin rights to the CEO. So after you do that, you will have a plus button next to the CEO option. So click on the plus button and you can now give a new name. This is how I have added each of the roles here. You can give a team leader role, a manager, or a supervisor, and then you can choose who this person reports to, and you can save. So once you do that, you can build the organization's hierarchy. So by this way, you can bring in all your managers, sales representatives, and all of your team members inside the roles section. So under profiles, if you see, there are two profiles by default. The first profile is the administrator profile, and the other profile is the standard profile. The other two profiles are custom profile that I created. Let me go to the administrator profile. So here, if you see, all of the permissions are enabled. There's not even one single permission that is disabled. So all of them are enabled for an admin profile. And if you see, there are module permissions, setup permissions, and extension permissions, all of the permissions here. So if you go to the admin level permissions, all of them will be enabled and you won't be able to disable any of these. So this permission cannot be modified for this profile. And then if you see this, because it has permissions to all of the permissions, it is much more suitable to the administrator or the CEO or the supervisors in your organization. But if you go to the standard profile, on the other hand, it has the admin level permissions all disabled. So you won't be able to enable your admin level permissions. So if you go to, if you want a new profile, say a team leader's profile, so which has a standard level permission, but additional to standard level permissions, you just have to add one or two admin level permissions to it. How do you do that? If you hover next to the standard profile, you will have an ellipse button. There is a three dots there. You can just click on that and clone. So here you can give this profile a name. I've given it as TL, representing the team leader, and the standard profile. So here, when I click on the cloned profile, I can go to the admin permissions and enable two permissions as per my need. So by this way, I've created a standard profile which is cloned, and then I have enabled two admin level permissions. So this is how you can create new profiles inside the organization. So once you've added profiles and roles, the next step is to add your users. So onto your left, if you see, there is users and control. Under users and control, you have users. So by default, you will have only the CEO or the person who sets up the account, and this person is a super admin of the account, because this person is the one who sets up the account. So now you can click on the add new user button on the top, and you can fill in the details of this form which pops up. You can give the name of the user and the email ID. So this is where you can choose the role that the user plays inside your organization, and then you have to choose the profile that is suitable for this user. So once you click on save, an invite will be sent to the user, and then once you send an invite, the user can click on the email link and then join the organization to be a part of your Zoho CRM account. And whatever profile or whatever permission you have enabled for this user, he will be able to operate the CRM based on the permission that you've assigned. So here, if you want to deactivate a user, you can just click on the user here, click on the checkbox here, and this add new user button will change to deactivate. So you can deactivate users here. And if you send an invite to 20 people and 5 of them haven't confirmed the email, then you can find them under the drop down list here. So there's a drop down list here. So you can filter the unconfirmed users here, and then you can send them a reminder email saying that you should, if you select all of these users, there'll be a button called re-invite on the top, so you can send another invite to your users. So this is how you can manage your roles and profiles, and then add users and assign roles and profiles to each one of them. So once you have added your users and then assigned roles and permissions to them, the next step is to customize your CRM based on your business requirements. So if you see, every business is unique and there's no one size fits all. So at Zoho CRM, we understand this and we let you to customize anything and everything within your account. So you can customize your modules, you can customize your fields and layouts. So it's pretty easy with Zoho CRM. Let's take a quick look at how to do this within Zoho CRM. So let's go to the account again, and on the top, as I said, you go to the setup icon for anything that you want to do. So under setup, under customization, you have modules and fields. So you have a list of all the modules listed here, and the modules are represented in the form of tabs on the top. So these are the modules in your CRM. You can just click on the ellipsis icon and look at all the other modules available. You can click on the organize module button here on the top, and then you can reorganize the way in which the modules appear. You could also disable some of the modules that you don't want to see on the tab on the top. So you can disable some of the modules here and save. So this is how your modules on the field will on the top will get reorganized. So apart from the modules that we offer, if you want to create a new module, you can just do that by clicking on the create new module button. So if you do this, if you click on the create new module button, you will be taken to this page where you can just easily drag and drop the fields that we offer. So you can just drag and drop the variety of fields we offer: single line, multi-line, pick list, a checkbox, lookup fields. So there are a variety of fields. You can just drag and drop as per your business requirement. And then there's also subforms. So subforms is one of the latest features of Zoho CRM. So this allows you to create a form inside a form. So this is one of the newest features with Zoho CRM. Let me take a scenario where I can elaborate about customization much better. To explain this to you, let me assume myself as a real estate business owner. So I am a real estate business owner, and I'm going to create a new module inside my CRM account called the buyers module. So I just click on the create new module button and I enter the name as buyers, and that's how I have created this buyers module. And then I have created a new layout inside the module. So you can create more than one layout inside every module. So I click on the commercial layout. So let me take a scenario where I get 2 walk-ins into my office. So one person is enquiring a housing space, and there's another person who's enquiring about a mall, a shopping mall. So I enter these 2 informations in 2 different layouts. So here I have commercial layout where I have certain fields, and there's also another layout called residential layout. So if you want to create a new layout, you can just click on the create new layout button here, or you can hover over the ellipsis here, and there's an option called clone layout. So once you do that, the older layout will get cloned. You can just make the minimum changes that you want to create the new layout and use the 2 different layouts for 2 different situations. So where do you see these layouts inside your CRM? So when you go to the buyers module here, on the top, you can click on this plus button and try to add a new buyer. So when you try to create a new buyer, you have a drop down on the top, and there are the 3 different layouts that I've created. So here, based on my enquiry, I can choose whichever layout I want. So I can choose a commercial layout for the person who inquired about my mall, and I can use the residential layout to fill in the details of the person who inquired about the housing space. So this is how I can use my fields, layouts and modules inside my CRM. Let us take a quick look at fields, for which I go to customization. Under customization, I go to modules and fields, and then I go to the buyers module, and I'm clicking on the commercial buyers layout. So these are the fields in my commercial buyers layout. So if I want to make the email field mandatory, if you see there's a red line next to the buyer name, which means the buyer name is mandatory information. So without submitting this information, you won't be able to add this information as a record inside the CRM. If I want to make this email field mandatory, you can click on the three dots here, and then you can mark it as required. You can also click on edit properties and give a new name to this field, and you can change the properties of this field. So this is how you can customize your modules, fields and layouts inside your Zoho CRM account. So now that we've been discussing about customization, I have one question about customization. So please answer this poll so that we can proceed forward to the next part of the session. How many custom fields do you think your business might require? Please answer this poll, and then we'll jump into the next customization part, which is going to be really interesting. Edit, actually, you do not need any specific development skill to customize your modules. If you see, it is just a drag and drop action. So I believe that you can just drag and drop your fields, and then you can do that easily, and you don't need a developer to do this action. And we'll be discussing about import options shortly, Butch. Do I use different layout for different projects? You can create different modules for different projects, or you can, like, under one project, if there are two different enquiries or two different types of projects, then you can use two different layouts. Edith, yes, this is the Zoho CRM product that you would get along with Zoho One. And for today's session, I have one of my team members who will be answering all of your questions. So I hope that all of your questions get answered. Meanwhile, please let me know if the pace of the presentation is okay or not. So should I pace it up or pace it down? Is the speed of the session okay? Is everything covered until now clear with all of you, so that we can just jump in the next session? Yes? Kindly use the questions box on your screen to respond. Ashley and Lizetta agree that this is a good pace. Thanks a lot. So I'll just close this poll, and this is the poll looks. This is how the poll looks like. And most of you want less than 50 custom fields, and some of you want 50 to 100 custom fields. Great. So now that we have looked at customizing, the next step is to customize your home tab. Your home tab is like a door to your house. So this is the first thing that you will be seeing as when you log in into your CRM account. So imagine you're just coming on a Monday morning, and then you're opening your laptop and you're logging into your CRM account. what is the first thing that you would want to see? You might want to see how many deals you've closed last week, what is your actual target, and where do you stand with respect to your target. If you're a sales representative, you would want to look at the tasks that you have for that specific day. And if you are a CEO, you might want to know how your marketing team has been performing. So you would want to look at the different lead sources and how each of the campaigns have been performing. So based on each of your requirements, your home tab should have information that will help you to plan that specific day and the upcoming weeks. Yes, do you agree? So that is why it makes it all the more important to customize your home tab based on your business requirements. So that's what we are going to see next. So let me show you my home tab. I'm going into my CRM account, and once I'm into it, on the top, if you see, there's a tab called Home. So if you click on the Home tab, there's a drop down on the top corner. So when you click on the drop down, there are two different views here. One is Amelia's home and the common organization view. Let me click at Amelia's home now. So if you see, Amelia is the CEO, so she's much more interested towards looking at what are the opportunities that are closing this month, leads by source, and the tasks that she has today. So let's take a scenario where you want to add much more information to this home tab. So how do you do that? If you just scroll down, you can add this component here by clicking on here, by adding component. So here you can click on a dashboard or a custom view or a widget. I'll just add a custom view here. Let me look at products, my various products and how they've been performing, or all products. Give this view a name, and you will look at all the products that you're selling inside your inside your CRM and the product code. So you can add up to 10 components here on your screen. And let's assume that this is not Amelia's home tab, and this is my sales manager's home tab. And my sales manager wants to create a home tab and share it with his field sales representatives who are just working elsewhere. But he wants to ensure that all of his field sales representatives look at the same home tab as himself. So how does he do that? Let's look at that now. So under the same drop down menu, you have a button called Customize Home Page. So click on the Customize Home Page button. And here, if you see, you can create a new home page. I've created a new home page already. Let me show you that. So you can add custom views and dashboards here. So you can add up to 10 components here, and you can save. So I'll show you where you can add users. So when you click on the ellipsis here next to the common organization view, there's an option called Edit Properties. So here, if you see, you can add your CEO or the manager or the director. So this is how it will be initially. So when you click on this choose role, you can add the CEO, the manager, and the director. So this is Amelia's account. So I am able to add the people who are just reporting to me. So that is why it shows my manager and the director, because they are directly reporting to Amelia. So if for this manager, this account will show the sales representatives and team leaders who are reporting to the manager. So you can choose this and save here. And once you do that, for all of those people who you've shared this view, if you click on the drop down, this common organization view, that is the name of the view, will appear. So they can choose this view and make sure that they also see the same thing as just like you. So this is how you customize your home tab within your CRM account. Right. So now that you've gotten leads and you've also customized your business, I'm sorry, you've customized your business according to your requirement. The next step is to bring in data inside your CRM account. So here we are going to discuss about the various ways in which you can bring in data inside your CRM account. So when it comes to bringing in data inside the account, there are two major ways. One is via import. Say you've run a campaign and you have the responses of the campaign in the form of an Excel sheet or an Excel file or a CSV file, and you just want to upload this data inside CRM. So how do you do that? We'll discuss about that. And next comes web forms. So you have a website and you have website visitors. So how do you add your website visitors from your website to the Zoho CRM account? We'll also discuss that. And we'll also look at migration. So once you are from a different CRM account, how do you bring in all of that data inside your Zoho CRM account? So all this is what we are going to see next. So under setup, under data administration, you have import. So you can click on import. On the top, you will see import option. So you can choose from any of the service providers that we have mentioned here, or you can choose, if you're not using any of these, you can just choose other CRM. So here you can browse the files that you've exported from your older CRM. You can just click on browse files and add all of the files that you've exported. And then it will probe you to map the fields and then finish. So this is how you migrate from one CRM into Zoho CRM. The next step, next form of import is via Excel sheets, and if you have data in the form of sheets, then how do you import? Inside leads or accounts or contacts or deals module, there's a button on the top which says plus. So you can click on this button and then you can just fill in this field and save. So this is how you can manually enter one by one. You can manually import a lead one by one. In case you have 100 plus responses for your campaign, entering them one by one might take a lot of time. So you can just click on the import button here on the top, and under that you have import leads. So here, if you click on the supported format space, it will allow you to browse the file inside your account. So you can choose one of the files that you have and then hit save, and it will just probe you to mark the fields, and you can also map the fields, and it will also help you to assign these leads to your sales representatives from right this window. So like this, you can add your leads inside your account. Now you've gotten a lot of leads inside your account. How do you make sure that all of your records are duplicate free? So all of your records are unique. How do you make sure of that? So next to the import button, there is an ellipse option here. So here, if you click on the ellipsis, there's an option called deduplicate leads. If you could see, there's an option called deduplicate leads. You can just click on the deduplicate leads. So these are the various fields by which you can identify unique leads. So you can choose, you can identify the leads using email or mobile or company or any of these values. You can choose up to 3 fields. So I choose email, phone, and company. So you could choose from 2 actions. One is auto merge, so it will automatically merge all of the duplicates into just one record, or it will delete all of the duplicate records and retain just one unique record. So let me proceed. So once I click on proceed, it will browse all of my records. So here, if you see, there's a pop-up that says 8 leads are merged successfully. So here you can resolve if you want to merge the rest of the account, rest of the duplicate fields here. So this is how you can deduplicate your leads inside your Zoho CRM account. So the next type of import is via web forms. So web forms, I'm sure, is going to be one of your favorite features. So under setup, under developer space, you have web forms. So click on web forms. So here you have to choose the module in which you want to record the website visitors into. So here I choose a leads module, and here you can just click on the create web form button and create your web form. I've already created a web form here. Let me show you the form. Onto your left, you have different fields. You can just drag and drop all of the fields inside your web form. And here, if you see, I have a field that's called lead source, and I've kept it as web download. So next to that, I have a gear icon. So let me click on the gear icon. I've given a lead label, and you can mark this field as hidden. So the user will not be able to look at this information, but when the visitor submits this form, this information will be captured, and you will be able to track where you have gotten this lead from. And when you click on next step, you can give this form a name, and this URL is a URL where you want to publish this form, and the landing page URL is a URL where your user goes to or is redirected to after submitting this form, that says maybe thank you for submitting this form, we'll get in touch with you soon. So this information, a landing page, can be shown to your users, and your website visitors who submit the form can be directly assigned to just one user, or you could also choose an assignment rule based on which these records are assigned. So when you save this information, you get a code which is the source code. You can just copy this code and paste it inside your website source code, and once you hit done, you will be able to see the form. Let me show you one sample form that I created long back. So here, if you see, you can fill in the details here, and all of the information will get recorded inside the leads module. So let me search for lead source is web download. Because I kept this field as a hidden field, I know that these are the leads that have come from my website, and that is why the lead source is web download. So this is how you import leads using web forms inside Zoho CRM. I hope that was interesting. So now that you've gotten leads coming in, the next big step is to assign them to your sales representative, and then it has to be automated so that you can save a lot of time for your sales representative. If you have 50 plus leads coming in, you can't just go and assign each one of them to the sales representative. So how do you automate this? That is why we have assignment rules with Zoho CRM. And assignment rules allow you to assign your leads equally to your sales representatives based on two ways. One is based on a criteria. That is when there's a criteria, and when a lead meets this criteria, it is directly assigned to one of your users. Number two is when a lead meets a criteria, you can assign it to the users based on a round robin pattern. Let me explain this on the account. So under the setup icon, under automation, you have assignment rules. I'll just open one of the assignment rules here. I created rules earlier. So if you see, the criteria here is when the state is Texas. So when I have an inquiry from one of my leads who is from Texas, then this lead has to be assigned to Amelia. So this is one of the ways in which I can assign. Or I can click on the next radio button that says assign users based on a round robin pattern. So here you can choose the users who should fall under the round robin pattern. Let me choose Amelia and let me choose Martha. So the first lead which fulfills this criteria will go to Amelia, and the second will go to Martha, and the cycle will repeat until all of the leads are assigned equally between the both of two. So this is how you can automate your assignment rules inside Zoho CRM. This comes handy when you have a sales team working with different time zones. So you might have people working in the US shift or the UK shift or different time zones. So in that case, you can just choose that specific country and then assign to people who are working in that specific time zone. So this will be very handy in that situation. Having said that, I have one more question with respect to assignment rules. I've told you two types of assignment rules. One is the assignment rule based on a specific condition, and the next is the assignment rule based on a round robin pattern. Which one of these do you think will best suit your organization? Please choose the appropriate answer so that we can understand which is the most preferred way of assignment in your organization. So I see that all of you are answering the poll. It's great. I'll just leave this poll open for the next few minutes so that I get the response from each and every one of you. So this information will make us understand how many of you go in for assignment based rules, like based on a specific criteria or based on a round robin pattern. I'll be sharing the poll results shortly, and we'll jump into the next section. So before we proceed to the next section, let me ask you a question. So how many of you here have this situation? So where you have a lot of leads coming in and you don't know which one to process first, or you have troubles in identifying the most prospective leads of the lot that you get each day. So how many of you face this issue each and every day? Yes? Do you face this problem? All right, I'll close this poll and now we'll jump into the session. So next I'm going to, this is how the poll result looks like. And now I'm going to share a feature that will help you to get over this trouble that we've been talking about. That is the scoring rule with Zoho CRM. So as I said, if you have more and more leads coming in, and if you don't know how to prioritize or how to identify the most prospective ones, what what will happen most likely is that you might assign the qualified leads to one of your newest trainees in your organizations, or you might assign one of the exploring leads to one of your most experienced sales representatives in your organization, which will be a mismatch, and there won't be a hike in your conversion rates. Instead, you can evaluate your leads based on the action that they take for each of your campaigns, and based on that you assign a score to each of the actions. So you accumulate all these scores, and when you rank these leads, you will look at the leads which have a higher score and which have a lower score. So the leads that have higher score are very much interactive with you, so they are most likely to convert, and leads that have a lesser score, they are less interactive with you, so they may convert in a longer duration. or they might require much more activity before they get converted. So let's look at how to do that with Zoho CRM. Click on the setup icon on the top. Under automation, you have scoring rules. So let me choose a leads module. So here I have created some scoring rules earlier. So let me explain each one of them. So when there is an inquiry and the lead source is filled in as web download. This happens only in the situation when your visitor visits your website and then submits a form. You get the lead source as web download, which means this visitor has taken a look at your website, which is very positive to you. So you add 10 points. So there's also another rule. So here, if you see, the email field in your lead form is not empty, which means your visitor has submitted one of his most sensitive informations, that is his email. So now he's given you an approval to send the business updates to him on his email, which is highly positive. So you add 10 points for this action. You can add up to 10 points and you can subtract up to 10 points. So I give maximum points for this action. And next comes email opt-out. So there is a checkbox in your leads form that says email opt-out. So once that is selected, you can select it or unselect it. So once it is selected, it means that this person has opted out of your email list. So you don't have an option to communicate with this user in future. So you subtract 10 points because it is negative to your business. So you can add more rules like this. And for email insights, you can add points. When your email is opened or when your email is clicked, when your email bounces, for each of these activities, you can add points, add or subtract points. You can also add or subtract points for your survey. When your survey is responded, you can add points. When your survey goes unresponded, you can deduct points. So likewise, you can create different scoring rules. So where does this get reflected? Let's go to the leads module. Here, if you see, there is a column called score. So do you see that? If you don't see that in your account, you can click on the add columns button on the left. I'm just hovering over it. There's an add columns button here. So here you can search for score and you can check the checkbox, and then you will be able to see this column here called score. So if you see, you have the list of scores for each of the user. Let me remove this filter for now. Yes, so this is the score for each of my leads. Let me get into the first record, which has the highest score now. If I just scroll down a bit, there is a score summary section. So this is where you get a list of all the score lists and score where all this user has gotten the score from. So out of all the leads that have higher scores, like above 50 or above 60 based on your business, you can make sure that these are the leads that you should focus on, and these are the leads that are more likely to get converted. So this is how you can score your leads and pay more attention to the leads that have higher scores. Right. So the next is another interesting feature that is going to help you to automate the follow-up activities. Now, using assignment rules, you've automated the lead assignment process. Using scoring rules, you have automated classifying or lead prioritizing process. Using workflow rules, you can now automate the follow process that you do. So workflow rules allow you to create criteria or rules based on which an action will be triggered without you having to remember it every time. So this will help you to reduce the number of follow-up activities that you or your sales representatives do, and by which you can save time and focus on converting the leads rather than focusing on the follow-up activities. Let's take a quick demo. Under the setup icon, under automation, you have workflow rules. I have a pre-created workflow rule because it will, this is a demo, so I'll just demonstrate how to create a workflow rule here. So here, if you see, there's a pen icon on the top, and in real, you have to create a new workflow rule. Let me also show you that. So here, there's a create rule button. You can choose a module for which this rule is created. Let me give this entry, no, called birthday greeting. So I want to execute this rule on a specific date or time, so which is date of birth. So on the date of birth field value, on that date, on a specific time, I want a mail to be sent every year. Next comes on, would you want this workflow to be, executed on all the records or on records matching a certain criteria? I can keep it as when the lead source is lead score, maybe. Let me choose score. So when the score is greater than 50, I want this workflow to get triggered because these are going to be the most leads with more priority. So here I can choose an email you can trigger an email notification or a task. You might assign a task to one of your sales representatives to call your leads on that day and wish them on your birthday, or a field update, or any of these actions. So here I choose email, and then I can choose birthday email. So here it doesn't show because the email template was created for the contacts module, wherein we are creating this workflow for the leads module. So the templates are module specific, so you have to create a new template for the leads module for this workout to be executed. So let me go to customization, and here under templates you have various predefined templates, or you can just click on new template for the leads module and you can create a template. So this is how you can create the template for birthday greeting, and you can associate this with the workflow that we created. So this is how you can automate some of your follow-up activities, and you make sure that a mail is triggered on the lead's birthday without you having to remember their birthdays. This might be a very suitable situation for florists or tourists or even apparel stores. So if you're a florist, you could send bouquets to your leads or your on all your records on their anniversaries or their birthdays. Or if you're tourist business owners, then you may send tickets or just birthday greeting cards to your prospects on their specific celebratory days. So you can automate these follow-up activities, and then you can maintain a good relationship with your customers. So let me ask a question before I proceed. How many follow-ups do you think you might need before you connect with your lead? So please answer this poll so that we can proceed with the next part of the session. I've showed you a glance of what we are going to discuss next. I don't know how many of you saw it. Okay, let me ask you a scenario where you have a sales representative, and this sales representative has to call 50 leads each day. So out of that, 35 of them connect, and the sales representative updates the call information inside the leads module, and 15 of them go to voicemail. So in a typical scenario, the sales representative has to do 3 activities for each of the calls that went to voicemail. So first, the sales representative has to send an email to the customer saying that he tried to contact, but the number was not available, and then update the lead status to attempted to contact, and then send a task to himself saying that he has to contact this customer after 1 or 2 days, which might take anywhere from 50 to 40 to 50 minutes of his valuable time, which instead he can focus on converting a lead, isn't it? Do you agree? Do you agree that your sales representative's time is very, very crucial? So it has to be spent on lead conversions rather than doing repetitive tasks. So if you agree, so how do you get over this situation? Let me close the poll, and then I'll share the results now. So this is how the poll results look like. So we have got a mixed response here, and I see that there are equal number of people who think that you want less than 3 or 3 to 5 follow-ups. That's great. So let's now discuss the solution for the situation that I gave you. So that is when macros come in handy. So here macros allow you to automate these all of these 3 activities that I told you. That means sending a mail, and then doing a field update, and then scheduling a task. So it allows you to automate all 3 of these activities. It is not actually automated purely, it is semi-automated, where there is a requirement from your end to run this macro. Apart from that, you don't have to do anything else. So let me go to the leads module. To explain this better, let me go to the leads module here. So let me assume that these 10 leads are the leads that whose call went to voicemail. And when I select all of these leads, on the top there's a button that appears. It is not available on the top, but now if I select these leads, it appears. So there's a button called Run Macro. It is a drop-down button. Click on the Run Macro drop-down, and there's an option called Create Macro. So let me click on Create Macro. So here you can select a template. I've created a voicemail template earlier. You can do a field update. Say lead status is equal to attempted to contact. Or you can also schedule a task to yourself. So this is how you can create a macro. I've created a macro earlier. So let me select all of these leads and then click on Run Macro. I have voicemail follow-up. So if I click on Run, all these activities, updating the lead status, sending an email to your customer, and following up this with a task, all of these activities will be executed for all of these records that I've created, and you can go and continue doing this for the rest of the records that you get. So this is how macros help you to save time by doing the repeated follow-up activities. You can create different macros for the repeated tasks or activities that you do, so that you can save time by doing this macro instead of doing things repeatedly. I hope that it was really magical, and I hope that it will save a lot of time for you and your sales representative. So now that you've gotten leads and you've automated some of your follow-up activities, the next huge step is to communicate with your prospects effectively on all of the mediums that they are available on, so that you can get closer to them on their preferred mode of communication, and you try to close them and close their deal with them on their favorite communication channel. So with Zoho CRM, which has truly multiple channel options, you can connect with your prospects through emails or telephony or chat or via social media platforms. There's an entire section that is dedicated to communication with Zoho CRM. So under the setup icon, there is an entire section called channels. So under channels, you have email, telephony, social, and chat. Let me click on email. You can integrate your email in two ways. One is using IMAP integration or POP integration. So when you go in for IMAP integration, you might have to give a username, which is your organization's email ID, your default from address, your SSL connection ID or your SSL connection. You can get all of these informations from your internet service provider. So once you integrate using IMAP, you will get a tab on the top called Sales Inbox. So Sales Inbox, it gives you a scenario. It is an innovation that gives you a CRM's touch to your inbox. The sales inbox view is just opening up, and it categorizes your email inside your inbox into 4 sections. Number 1 is the emails from your deals inside the CRM. Number 2 is the emails from your contacts or leads inside your CRM. Or number 3, emails from people who are not in your CRM. And number 4, emails from people who are your colleagues. So let's take a scenario where one of your contacts sends you a mail saying that he wants to open a deal. So you can just drag and drop this email into the deal section, and you can create a deal inside the CRM within this section. Or let's take a scenario where you think some of you is interested, some of your people who are not in your CRM might be interested in your business. You can just drag and drop this mail inside the contact or lead section, and you can create a lead or a contact. So this is how you can create leads or contacts or deals from your mailbox into your CRM. So this is also one of the ways in which you can bring in data inside your CRM account. Now let's take a quick look at the telephony communication channel. So with Zoho CRM's phone bridge connection, you can integrate your CRM with one of the telephony service providers. So you can choose any of the PBX system operators from here, and you can integrate. So once you do that, you will be able to track all of the inbound calls, outbound calls, and missed call activities right within your activities module inside your account. You can also place calls from your CRM. You can receive calls. There will be a soft phone that appears on your screen based on the service that you choose, and you can receive calls on your CRM. You can also place call using the soft phone or your hard phone. So this is how you can integrate your telephony service provider. Next comes social. So here in this section, you can add your organization's Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus pages. So every business wants to go online, and there's a lot of business happening on social media platforms. So here you can choose to generate leads from your social media platforms. So after adding your social media platforms here, you can define a criteria. If someone replies or likes your social media platforms, you can add this person as a lead because there's no specific buying interest shown. But if someone sends you a message on Twitter or Facebook or even Google Plus, you can add this person as a contact. So you can just click here, you can add this person as a lead or a contact. So like this, you can generate leads from your prospects social media activities on your business pages. Next comes chat. So let me click on get started, and there's a portal that is created on Zoho Sales IQ. Sales IQ is one of the Zoho products which helps you to integrate with chat option. So here, once you create a portal, you will be given a code like this. So you just have to integrate this code in your website, and you will get a chat option on all of your website pages. So once your lead chats with you on your website, you can get that information inside the leads module directly. So under the leads module, under the record, let me click on the first record. So here, if you see right beneath this is the business card view of the user. Right beneath that, you have the chat follow-up here. If you just scroll down a bit, or if you click on the chat description, you will get the entire chat transcript here under the section. So you can track all of the chat options here inside your Zoho CRM's account. So I hope this will help you to communicate with your prospects effectively and reach out to them regarding your business. And not only that, you can also connect with your prospects real time by using the Zoho CRM's mobile app, which help you to connect with your prospects in person. And you can also check in with the feature, just like the check-in feature on Facebook. You can show the prospect where you are. You can also track the prospect's location. You can also share the location with the rest of your team members. Not only this, we also have a card scanner app with Zoho CRM. Let's assume that you are on a business tour and you get to meet a lot of people who are interested in your business tour. So you exchange business cards during the tour. So before you come back to your city, you might have the risk of losing one or two of your cards. Has this happened before with you? But this is much valuable information which you are supposed to preserve, because these are contacts of business people who are interested in your business. So instead of losing these cards, you can just click a picture of these cards using the card scanner app and restore this information inside the Zoho CRM account. So by this way, you can preserve all the informations without having the risk of losing the business cards. So now that you're doing a lot of follow-up activities each day, you have a lot of prospects to whom you've communicated on various channels. You might have a lot of activities to follow up with your customers. So like a call or an event or a live demo. So you might, or even a field visit or a door-to-door visit. So how do you make sure that all of these activities happen and you don't miss out on any of these activities? So with Zoho CRM, you can do that easily. So on the Zoho CRM account on the top, you have a calendar icon here. You can click on any of the date and you can look at the tasks that you have for that day, or you can look at the weekly tasks or monthly tasks. On the right, you have an option called create. You can create an event or you can create a call. You can schedule a call, and you can not only schedule a call for yourself. If you are a manager, you can also schedule an event for one of your users inside your organization. So here, there's also an option where you can mark yourself as unavailable from one date to another date. So if you're on a leave, or if you're on a medical leave or any other situation, you can make sure that there are no tasks or events scheduled for you on that specific day, so that there are no open tasks when you get back to business. So next comes an advanced feature with Zoho CRM, which will definitely come handy for you every single day. So this feature helps you to know your business in and out. So that feature is called the advanced filter feature, which we've already taken a sneak peek at. So let me click on the search icon. The panel here you see, this panel here is called the advanced filter, which is one of the very recent features of Zoho CRM, and is the most enjoyed feature of Zoho CRM with most of our business users. So let me create a filter. Say I've just taken an example of score. So when the score is greater than 50, you can get the list of all the users who have a score greater than 50. So once you have filtered, you can save this filter, say score more than 50. So it will get saved here. So you can click on this and then you can look at it anytime that you want. The best part of this feature is that it not only filters the leads based on the field values. So these are the fields in the form. These are called the fields of the form. And if you see notes, attachments, open activities, emails, so all of these are called related lists. So the advanced filters not only allow you to filter a lead based on the field information, but it also allows you to filter leads based on the related list values. So let me take a scenario where leads that have notes that do not have any notes for the past 2 days. So I've applied this filter, and these are the leads that haven't gotten a note for the past 2 days, but they have created. So this is how you can filter, you can drill down the leads based on your business requirements. You can apply more than one filter and filter the leads to the niche manner possible, and you can apply the any rule or contact or action that you want. Right. So now you have gotten a hard-working sales team, you've gotten products, you've gotten campaigns running. So how do you measure the effectiveness of various teams or various campaigns? So how do you look at how each of these have been performing with respect to your business? That is where Zoho CRM's reports and dashboards come in handy. So on top in the module section, if you see, there are reports. On the top, there is a all report button on the left hand side top. So here we have close to 50 plus reports by default. So you can filter deal based reports or lead reports, activity reports. So let me just click on lead reports. So here I can click on converted leads. So this gives me the list of all the converted leads that I've had so far. You could also export this report in the form of Excel file or a CSV file or a PDF file. And you could also send this report as a report to your manager here. You can also schedule this report for later for later notification. Then comes dashboards. So dashboards is a visualized form of reporting. So here let me show you leads dashboard, or let me show you deals dashboard. So here there is an add component button on the top right corner. So click on the add component and you can create a report, and you can bring in that report inside the dashboard section. So let me show you deal report for Zilker. So this is how your deal report is going to look like. You can choose the designs here. I'm choosing a donut design here. So this is how a dashboard looks like. So this is definitely going to help you when you want to present in a business meeting, and this is going to give you a good interaction or visual touch to your presentations in your business. And now we are approaching the end of the webinar, but that's not all. So you should actually wait here. There's more to Zoho CRM, where now we are getting more real time and intelligent. So with Zoho CRM's sales signals, there is an opportunity for you to get more real time with your prospects. So imagine a situation where there's one of your very interested prospects who has used your products. One of your customers who has used your product, and he is giving you a tweet saying that he's tagging you in a tweet, and he says that this product is very interesting. Or there's one of your prospect who is writing a review about, who's inquiring a review about your product, saying like, he's asking people if your product is good or not. So how do you think if it will be to get notified of all of these informations immediately, and you handle these requests or handle these situations immediately while the user is still online? So in your CRM account, on the top, if you see there's a bell icon. So let me click on the bell icon here, and it will list down all the notifications. So one of my users has just checked one of my emails, and there's also another user who has just opened my mail, and there's a user who has sent me a direct message. So when I get all of these actions, I get a notification on the top of the bell, and I can just immediately respond to the user by going into my account. So how do I manage this with Zoho CRM? Under the setup icon, under the channels, you have sales signals. So here you can choose what are the notifications you want to get notified of, and you can save. So this will help you to get real time with your business users. This will also come in handy when you want to manage reputation of your business. So when someone tweets something bad about your business, you can immediately get notified of it, and you can deal with that issue and you can manage your reputation very well, and before it spreads across like fire. So how many of you think this is really mind-blowing, and how many of you think that this is going to save a lot of time and efforts for you, and is going to give you more loyal customers? Yes, so this is one of the latest features, and we already have a lot of our customers enjoying this feature with Zoho CRM. And now we are approaching the end of the webinar, and how would I end this webinar without introducing one incredible woman of our team? So in this webinar, I'm going to introduce to you Zia. Meet Zia. She's our AI-powered sales assistant for Zoho CRM. What magic does Zia do? Zia detects anomalies even before they occur, and she finds out the best time to contact your prospects. So based on the past interactions you have had with your prospects, she identified the best time to contact your prospects. And not only that, she also suggests you the macros based on the repeated activities that you do. Let's take a quick look at Zia. So let me go to my account. In the bottom, if you see, there's an option called Ask Zia. So let me click on that, and let me type a query. So I'm just typing the list of events today. Zia gives me a response immediately. And that's how quick it is. And here there's another option called Zia. And this is where Zia notifies you of various tasks that you do. And she also notifies you of the best macros that would be suitable for your business based on the activities that you do. And here, let me go to the leads module, and I'm sure what I'm going to tell next is going to impress you a lot. Let me go to the leads module here. And if I click on the record, here on the right, if you see, there's the best time to contact this prospect. So this is by Zia. Based on your past interactions with this user and the responses this user had made for each of your emails or calls, Zia suggests you the best time to contact. So your chances of going to a voicemail or your chances of of missing a call with this customer or a meet with a customer is very less. So this is how Zia helps you with doing your business, and this is how she helps you to get more related to artificial intelligence. And we're also coming up with Zia Voice for Businesses from our Zoho CRM's mobile application. So I'm sure most of you would be using this on the go while you're on travel. So I'm sure this will give a lot of support for your business. All right, so with that, we are coming to the end of the webinar. Before I close, I would like to ask a question. So if you enjoyed the webinar, please answer this poll. I would like to understand the value of this webinar. So I can understand this, and based on this input, I will also make sure that the quality of the webinar is improved in future. So kindly, I would request all of you to answer this poll so that I will definitely make sure that I take this feedback seriously and make changes in my upcoming webinars. I will be sharing the contact details on your screen in quite some time, in 1 or 2 seconds. So I would like to get the poll responses before that. And I hope all of your questions are answered now. And if any of your questions have gone unanswered, you can just reach out to us with the email ID, which I say, that is support@zohocrm.com. support@zohocrm.com. Or you may just tag us using @ZohoCRM on Twitter and send us your questions or your feedback. So we'll be very happy to help you. And with Zoho CRM Sales Signals, we will also get notified of your tweets and your mails. So we'll be available all the time to help you out with your questions. So kindly post your questions. We are open for chat now. I'll close the poll, and now I'll share the contact details. So you can just contact us on this email or Twitter account handle. And I felt incredible having you all here in my webinar today. I really enjoyed handling this webinar. I hope we meet in one more interesting webinar in future. We will also have automation webinars or webinar specifically on setup and customization. So please stay in touch with our upcoming webinars. So I'm sure we will have webinars on specific topics. So I'm sure you will get interested by them as well. So I wish we meet in one of our upcoming webinars sooner. All right, so if all of your questions are answered, I'd like to close this session and bid goodbye. Thank you once again.